Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 223 based on novel. So let's start. The countless bug corpses floating in space had no end to them. They were all Sector Lord Pinnacle, so many bug corpses, trillions of Sector Lord Pinnacle corpses. Luo Feng looked over. He imagined the trillions of Sector Lord bug soldiers that fought in the outer region wars. One single attack, the explosion alone, even a knight that was simply brushed by the attack would instantly be killed. The quantity made a difference. 1,000,000 Sector Lords, even an Emperor-level Undying would have to dodge. 1,000,000,000,000 Sector Lords, even a knight would have to dodge. Of course, one single mother nest, even with its long lifespan, constantly producing bug soldiers, it still couldn't reach such a terrifying number such as trillion. This wasn't something one mother nest could do alone, it was the combined effort of countless mother nests working together. An endless bug ocean, invincible. Lord Luo Feng, the small group of damaged corpses gathered here can become 100k complete bug corpses, it's one of the 200 units of yours. The tall white-robed man said. Ah? Luo Feng's eyes gleamed, quickly sweeping the area with his spirit energy. Even though the remains and corpses were endless, in truth they weren't exactly all pushed and clamped together, every unit was separate from another, with tens of kilometers in between. And the large amount of remains and corpses within each unit could form balls with diameters of several kilometers. There are 3 mantis type, 18 armored types, 2 lizard types. Luo Feng's spirit energy swept the several kilometer in diameter ball of corpses and remains, according to his inherited memories and the information he had found via the virtual universe network. He quickly determined their worth. Luckily he knew these well, he quickly made his decisions. Not bad, the top-level bugs take up more than half. This unit should be able to produce about 20k Sector Lord Pinnacle Tiger armored bugs. Luo Feng was surprised within, that Longju Emperor has indeed treated me well, if the other units can all reach this level. Then with 100 units I'll be able to produce 2 million Tiger armored bugs. It was worth it. Spending 1 million mixed elements and producing a 2 million strong Sector Lord bug army. And it was the defensive and powerful Tiger armored bug. Continue. Luo Feng went to the next unit. 200 units, Luo Feng examined each carefully. As he viewed more of them, he understood that the first unit he saw was considered one of the best. After viewing half of them, he could see from the numbers. 11 unit of corpses, 2% of them could produce 20-30k Sector Lord Pinnacle Tiger armored bugs. 26% of them could produce 15-20k Sector Lord Pinnacle Tiger armored bugs. 32% of them could produce 15k Sector Lord Pinnacle Tiger armored bugs. 40% of them could produce 10 Sector Lord Pinnacle Tiger armored bugs. After examining all 100 units, he determined the percentage. In summary, he was already incredibly satisfied. Because if he went through purchasing the companies to produce 1 million Tiger armored bugs, it would require about 2.5 million mixed elements. And right now it wasn't even half of that, simply 1 million mixed elements, yet he could easily produce over 1 million Tiger armored bugs, maybe even 1.5 million inch Lord Luo Feng. The units of bug corpses around obviously do not compare to yours. The shorter white-robed guide said, the units Longju Emperor had prepared for you are considered the upper-level goods, ha ha. Luo Feng laughed and nodded. Longju Emperor has indeed treated me well. Naturally picking the corpses required good vision. As almost all of the corpses that were frozen were broken and in bits, if one had simply gotten information about them via the virtual universe network, it would be hard to determine its condition. Luckily Luo Feng had his inherited memories. Within his memories were detailed information about the bug clan, at least much more detailed than the public information the virtual universe company provided. Luo Feng could simply browse through 90% of the corpses and he would already be able to calculate every unit's worth. Rank the 200 units and their worth. Then I'll pick the best 100. Luo Feng wasn't stupid. Lord Luo Feng, look there. The taller guy pointed into the distance. Luo Feng turned to look. There in the distance was a black blur of messy remains. Just from a glance, one could feel the ancient energies it emanated. The guide smiled. That's Rubbish Mountain. These mountains are dispersed throughout the entire star field. Do you want to go try and look for treasure there? Look for treasure? Luo Feng gazed at the mountain floating in space, filled with anticipation within as he smiled. No rush, when I've picked my bug corpse units then I'll head over to search. Right. The taller guide nodded. It's best to finish your main business first. Dressed in a white uniform, the skinny Agent 6 had become a beam of light as he flew through the floating remains in space. He had already entered within Wulong Star Field to search for treasures for 9 days. These 9 days, he acted like normal members searching, looking through the many rubbish mountains before flying to the next one, occasionally entering his ship to universe travel, heading to a further location to search. It's almost time to look for number 3. Casey thought within. Following the spacious space pathways, flying at 100,000 kilometers per second, his eyes gazed at the screen on his wrist. On it displayed the map of Wulong Starfield. He had already specially enlarged the areas about him. 3 light dots, they are not too far from me, heading within one space pathway. If they fly towards me and I do the same, we would naturally meet. Casey calculated. At B2446, 56,453, 13,202, 96,216 foot, I'll kill number 3 there. His eyes gleamed coldly. Casey flew towards Luo Feng's direction. The 3 were flying his way, all along the same space pathway. Luo Feng's group suddenly stopped. Lord Luo Feng, this is one of the 200 units you've chosen, this one right in front. The taller guide looked at his wrist and back up. The several kilometer in diameter of frozen bug corpses and remains floated there. Luo Feng expanded his spirit energy and carefully examined it. Ah? The taller guide was shocked as he looked at his wrist. Not far from us, there's one of ours. Ah, so coincidental? The shorter guide looked at his wrist too, swiftly adjusting the map and the surrounding regions, quickly seeing that there was indeed a white dot not far from them in the same space pathway. What's going on? Luo Feng turned to look. It's our people. The shorter guide's voice was somewhat nasal as he smiled. Our internal surveillance and staff members within Wulong Starfield all have the privilege of searching for treasures. Every 10,000 years we get one chance to go to Rubbish Mountain for free to search, however we only get the smallest world rings, capable of only storing so much. Hence within Wulong Starfield we will occasionally meet some of our internal members searching for treasures. After all, our jobs here are extremely dull. And because the surveillance demands are so high, it prevents us from playing virtual games for too long, or even training for too long. Only occasionally we get to relax. Hence, searching for treasure is considered the thing we enjoy doing the most. The moment we really get a valuable treasure, we will no longer need to lead such a dull life. Luo Feng realized and nodded. Casey was swiftly flying in the several 100 kilometers wide pathway, simultaneously looking at his wrist screen's map. They've stopped. I have to control my speed, or maybe even change the location I kill. No point 3, Agent 6, Casey muttered within. After a while, Luo Feng's group continued forward. The 2 approached each other. The distance shrank quickly, hundreds of thousands of kilometers every second. Right here at B2446, 56,453, 13,202, 96233. Casey's gaze seemed calm and cold, immediately flying as fast as lightning within the spacious pathway to a floating ball. This was a black apparatus ball with a diameter of about 3.9 meter. This was Wulong Starfield System's most basic level mini observation point. These black ball apparatus could see from around it, 3 million kilometers, 10 light seconds, in diameter about. As Casey flew past the black apparatus, he casually stuck a translucent sticker on it. After sticking it, he swiftly returned to the pathway. Following the pathway, he stopped several tens of thousands of kilometers away, patiently waiting. After about 3 minutes, 3 lightning-fast silhouettes appeared in the distant pathway. They quickly slowed down and stopped. It's you, Casey. I was still discussing with you Fu who it was. The taller guide smiled. To bump into you in Wulong Starfield, it sure is rare. I discovered 3 signals too, hence I didn't rush to head to that rubbish mountain, waiting to see who it was. Ha ha, so it's you too. Ah, this is. Casey's gaze landed on Luo Feng, immediately becoming much more humble. The taller guide seemed respectful too. This is Lord Luo Feng, Longju Emperor personally arranged for us brothers to guide him. So it's Lord Luo Feng. Casey bowed respectfully. Luo Feng looked at the similarly dressed white-robed man before him. How's the treasure hunt? Nothing. Casey shook his head. Boom! Several tens of thousands of kilometers away, the black ball apparatus exploded. Simultaneously, an extremely small region in the Wulong Starfield map became a patch of white, as it was simply too small an area, at least so small that it was hard to notice with the naked eye on the map. The security system wouldn't immediately discover it. The apparatus has already been destroyed. There are countless observation points in the starfield. It's normal for such things to happen. It definitely wouldn't arouse the knights to personally come and check. Casey thought, according to the normal reaction procedure, sending in the closest ship through universe travel to come do some maintenance, the quickest would also require 90 seconds. Within 90 seconds, I have to kill number 3 at the same time. the security system in Wulong Starfield sent an order, observation apparatus in B2446, 56,453, 13,202, 96,233, B2446, 56, will immediately head over for maintenance. B2446, 56 ship has already activated. It will take about 98 seconds to reach the point. As the black apparatus ball exploded tens of thousands of kilometers away, as it exploded in space, no sound could be heard. Plus, with large amounts of goods placed all over, the faraway Luo Feng and his group couldn't see nor hear it. Also, the explosion itself was too weak to even reach them, hence no one detected anything. Luo Feng, we've lost the surrounding scanning signal. Barbata shouted. What? Lost? Luo Feng was shocked. As he entered within the star field to pick his bug units, Barbata had told him that he could clearly detect a powerful overwhelming scanning signal that engulfed every bit of the surrounding area, and its security system after all covered the entire star field. Several million light-years in diameter. Other places could never imagine such an extravagant system. Normally the powerful planets would at most have some satellites and systems around the planet. To have over 10,000 observation points and systems about, even the strongest powers in humanity wouldn't use such high-level apparatus. Like Barbata's scanning device only had an area of 20 kilometers, and it was incredibly advanced. In the universe, having one device every 20 kilometers? How many devices would the entire Wulong Starfield need? How much would it cost? Hence it wasn't worth it. And there was no need to even hide the fact that the entire Wulong Starfield was under surveillance, hence it naturally emitted a powerful signal of an extremely advanced scanning system. When the apparatus was destroyed, Barbata had discovered that signal had completely vanished. How can the scanning signal suddenly vanish, as it malfunctioned, or? Many thoughts flashed through Luo Feng's mind. He became more alert and cautious. He suddenly stared wide-eyed. Ahead, Casey, the man with a head of black scales who had been chatting happily with the two guides earlier, suddenly flashed his blade, and with the short distance, plus no preparation or defense, the other two guides had only begun to react when the blade slashed past their heads. Their heads were instantly split in two, flying away as the energy of the blade followed through into their bodies and attacked their life core. Rumble. Rumble. Two life cores were instantly broken. It took less than 0.01 seconds. The two biggest threats to Casey, the two Sector Lord Pinnacle guides, were instantly killed. Casey, assassin! Barbata shouted within Luo Feng's mind. Quickly flee! This assassin must have many hidden trump cards. To actually be able to make a move here within Wulong Starfield, he must have been hiding for extremely long and not making a move. He definitely won't give you any chance. Luo Feng, flee! However, it was too late. Casey's blade work was extremely close, and instantly as he killed the two Sector Lord Pinnacle warriors, his green eyes gleamed coldly. The biggest obstacles have been eliminated. With the two of them dead, no one can protect Luo Feng. And they are unable to send a report to the security system. Luo Feng can at most quickly send a distress signal to Longju Emperor, and Longju Emperor probably won't be too quick about it. Normally entering the virtual universe occasionally and checking his mail, it would probably take 30 seconds. After reading and knowing the problem, he would sound the alarm and send a powerful warrior here. After the system receives the alarm, the first thing they would do is try and contact Luo Feng's two guides. That would take about 20 seconds, and if it fails, they would then send the warrior. As the distance is too far, teleportation won't be able to reach instantly. Even a knight, using his God Country teleportation, it would still take at least 30 seconds to get here. I'm a Sector Lord level 9 Pinnacle and he's a Domain Lord level 9. He may have some supporting life form etc., however it cannot change the fact, his soul is only Domain Lord level 9. Spirit attack. Die? Casey had long planned everything out. While killing the two Sector Lord Pinnacle warriors, many thoughts had flashed through his mind as his gaze fell on Luo Feng. A formless spirit attack instantly rushed and attacked Luo Feng. Sector Lord level 9 versus Domain Lord level 9, just the difference in strength quantity alone was 1,000 times. Even with miraculous encounters etc., one soul couldn't defend against an attack 1,000 times stronger. Rumble, the brutal attack condensed, it was almost like the sun crashing into Earth, overwhelming. Luo Feng's main core within, with his enormous internal world with a diameter exceeding 60 million kilometers, even many Sector Lord Pinnacle Golden Horned beasts, choosing to use universe crystals to evolve, would only have an internal world with a diameter of 30 million kilometers. The bigger the internal world, the stronger the main core. When Luo Feng had just stepped into the Sector Lord level, even many Sector Lord Pinnacle warriors wouldn't be able to split his main core already. And now that the diameter of his internal world exceeded 60 million kilometers, his main core was incredibly strong, far exceeding many that choose to use universe crystal to evolve. This main core was something the golden horned beast was born with. It was very mysterious. It could not only withstand attacks, it could also withstand soul attacks. Back then when Luo Feng immolated his soul and used his all to kill to the golden horned beast, it was because of the main core that managed to stop him from breaking through. Finally, he managed to use his soul immolation along with soul imprint from Hu Yangbo's techniques, finally breaking through its defense. It was powerful and mysterious. A Sector Lord Pinnacle, trying to kill me with normal attacks, HMPH. Luo Feng didn't wish to reveal his powerful main core, swiftly using his Void Pagoda to defend. The moment it appeared, it completely protected his main core. This was the normal way a warrior would defend. Their main cores were weak, that was a known fact. After all, how many could be born with an internal world and one that was so absurdly powerful and huge? Rumble, that 5-level Void Pagoda, with the Sector Lord level 6 Golden Horned Beast spirit energy level that was akin to a normal human Sector Lord level 8 or 9, the pagoda formed from this was extremely powerful against spirit attacks. It slightly shook and easily withstood the attack. Over 180 years in the Beast God Canyon, Luo Feng's law comprehension had improved tremendously, finally forming the 5th level of the tower. Casey, who had discovered that his spirit attack had failed, changed his expression. The soul attack actually failed. How can that domain lord level 9 withstand my attack? Instantly, 999 blades appeared before him and the palm-sized blades revolved about, causing the entire space around to warp, forming an endless blade wheel world, countless blades slashing at Luo Feng. They covered the land and skies. However, only the original 999 blades were truly the spirit weapon. Everything else was formed from his world energy. Many thoughts flashed in Luo Feng's mind. He also devised a battle strategy. Sector Lord level 9 assassin? It was a good test for himself. Of course, the first thing he'd do in his plan was to ensure his safety. If you only have this level of strength, then go and die. Luo Feng roared fiercely, his voice exploding within Casey's mind. Simultaneously many vines began to extend from Luo Feng's shoulders, and as they extended, they got thicker and thicker, in the blink of an eye. It had reached over 10,000 kilometers, 216 large vines that were like huge snakes wrapping about, every one of them even bigger than the full-sized golden horned beast. One vine's length alone exceeded the diameter of Earth. These 216, when used in a combined attack, caused the surrounding tens of thousands of kilometers to instantly become a green forest. There were many leaves on each vine, and as it attacked, even the distant goods were affected by the ripples. Casey could only watch as the green leaves completely engulfed him. Rumble. The endless wheel blade struck at the surrounding vines, causing many of them to have huge slashes that stretched over several kilometers. However, they swiftly recovered and pushed forward again. Cloud Contact Vine, at least Sector Lord level 6 Cloud Contact Vine. Casey roared within. From the information I received, his Cloud Contact Vine is at most Sector Lord level 6 and it should have about 108 to 162 vines. However, this has 216 vines. This high-level Cloud Contact Vine is akin to 216 Sector Lord level 8s. The Cloud Contact Vine being strong is enough. But why is his soul defense so strong? Looks like I cannot wish to survive and leave this human territory. The terrifying endless vines and leaves surrounded and attacked him. Casey made a decision instantly. However, as he blocked, Luo Feng had already begun to trigger his other trump card. Amongst the endless leaves, there was one which had wrapped about what seemed like a simple streamlined laser gun. It was an E9 grade laser gun, with a short preparation time of 0.1 seconds that passed as Casey defended against the vines. It had already completed. The red light vanished and the green light shone. Vine, shoot and kill him. Luo Feng ordered. The leaf bent in slightly and it pushed the button. An extremely glaring pillar of white light shot out at light speed from the barrel. With Luo Feng and Casey's strength, they could clearly see the beam shooting out from the E9 laser gun. However, Casey couldn't dodge it as he was surrounded by endless vines and leaves. E9 laser gun. Casey's expression changed. What's going on with the report? How can there be such discrepancies? His soul defense is absurd and he even has an E9 laser gun. If he bought it in the virtual universe, how could the Buck clan spies not have any record of his purchase? Useless things. Rumble, the glaring pillar of white light instantly hit Casey's body, burning at an extreme temperature, with countless light particles forming the high-pressure attack, causing the leaves about to be burned to nothing. Luo Feng floated in space. The 216 thick vines that stretched over 10,000 kilometers were like huge snakes made wrapping about the assassin within. Also the countless leaves all attacked individually, with one of them using the E9 grade laser gun, shooting the glaring pillar of white light at Casey. The high temperatures caused the surrounding leaves to melt, however it didn't pierce through Casey's armor. The E9 grade laser gun can kill normal Sector Lord level 9s, however it doesn't guarantee a 100% against a Sector Lord level 9 pinnacle. Luo Feng was clear on this point. To be able to make a move within Wulong Starfield, this assassin must have been hidden for extremely long. The moment he made a move, it would definitely be shocking. To be killed so easily, even Luo Feng couldn't believe it. Bring it, let's see what you have, see how much you can force me to unleash. Luo Feng stared at the silhouette within the white pillar of light. Rumble, Casey's expression was pale as he crashed into the large amount of vines behind him. Vines, kill him. Luo Feng ordered. Rustle, the countless vines slid about in space, engulfing Casey. Casey was very clear that the cloud contact vine was a plant life form that was extremely hard to deal with. Many powerful humans with backgrounds all used cloud contact vines to protect themselves. In terms of its size and cell genetics, it was extremely terrifying. Luo Feng's cloud contact vine was nurtured extremely well. A total of 216 vines. At Sector Lord level, every vine could reach up to 30,000 kilometers. Its thickness was at least 300 kilometers thick. Naturally, in battle, there was no need to go that big. The Sector Lord level 6 high-level vine sturdiness was extremely solid. Even a Sector Lord level 9's destroying speed probably couldn't keep up with its regeneration. Against the vines that swallowed him up, he struggled within and let out a mad howl. Why howl before you die? Luo Feng stood in the distant space and watched. Suddenly, rumble, a formless terrifying energy, almost like an ant seeing a dragon, began to expand throughout, causing Luo Feng's expression to change greatly. The spot where Casey was began to sprout with explosions of flames, causing the space there to become a sea of flames. Large amounts of the vine and its leaves were instantly burned to ashes. Many thick vines began to warp. The vine sent a simple thought to Luo Feng, terrified, unable to withstand, with Casey as the core. An area of 30 kilometers was reduced to ashes. Many of the regenerated thick vines didn't dare go close within that 30 kilometers again. Endless flames burned within the space. There were two silhouettes within the flames. One was the heavily injured and mad Casey, the other was a 2m tall man, dressed in ancient black armor, revealing his arms. He was the center of the flames. His arms had thick fiery red hair that covered even his face. His eyes were like flames burning. Flame Undying. No, Undying. Luo Feng watched from far, looking at the Undying surrounded by endless flames. He felt a powerful pressure, that undying energy that worked on his body, endless undying energy, like a huge mountain pressing him down. With the undying energy pressure, he couldn't resist. It's actually an Undying. This assassin actually brought an Undying with him. It definitely must have been hidden within his internal world. Luo Feng squinted. What power is this, to actually stay hidden within Wulong Starfield's members? My guess was indeed right. His trump card truly is terrifying. It was terrifying. So terrifying it drove people crazy. An Undying. Agent 6, to be able to rank top amongst the other pawns hidden within Wulong Starfield, it was because he had hidden an Undying within his internal world. This Undying was one that had his soul controlled by the Bug clan, and as his identity was compromised, he had no way to show himself or use his god country to return to the Bug clan territory. Without their hidden ambush value, these controlled Undyings were normally used as cannon fodder or weapons. Placing an Undying as a pawn within an internal world, using him at critical times. If one could create a technological weapon capable of killing an Undying, its price would be absurd. These normal controlled Undyings, however, their worth was still much more. Also, a Sector Lord wielding these weapons in true battle would still never compare to an Undying. This was Agent 6's true trump card. It was also the trump card the Bug clan had prepared to kill Luo Feng. Longju Emperor, I need help. There's an Undying the member brought with him to kill me. Luo Feng immediately sent a thread of his consciousness into the virtual universe network, simultaneously sending a letter to Longju Emperor and spamming it 10 times over. Longju Emperor was at the time within the outermost palace of the Starfield, discussing business with others. This is 10 million mixed elements to buy goods. This 10%, which is 1 million mixed elements, is a little for your troubles, Longju Emperor. A bald old man in a black exquisite long robe spoke in a friendly manner, smiling. You wish to get 10 million mixed elements worth of goods? That's not easy. Longju Emperor frowned. You should know that for over 1 million, I cannot make the decision myself, as it has to go into the accounts, and there would be detailed records within whatever was bought and paid for. Like Luo Feng purchasing 1 million mixed elements worth of bug corpses, these were all recorded and thoroughly audited. Hence, it put an end to buying separate batches, and not anyone could simply come and purchase items. One had to have a certain level of position. If one bought 1 million mixed elements worth of goods and simply did it 10 times, it was too good to be true. The Virtual Universe Company and the huge Axe Dojo along with the other Leviathans would never allow such a loophole. Their audits were extremely strict. The moment there was any corruption, the consequences were severe. Longju Emperor, we've known each other over the past 10,000 eras. I seriously need to create this weapon. How about this way? 15% commission will belong to you. As for how to split this with the other 4 members, that's up to you. The black-robed bald old man's eyes were almost like space itself. He spoke softly. Wait a while. Longju Emperor frowned as he muttered within, who'd send me 10 straight messages? He sent part of his consciousness into the virtual universe network and entered his palace on Thunder Island. Standing within, he gently tapped the space and a screen appeared. He opened the mail within. Longju Emperor, save me, there's an undying assassin here brought by an internal member. He was totally shocked. Luo Feng, attacked? Longju once again opened the screen and immediately adjusted his Wulong Starfield map, sending out an alarm to the security system. There's someone being attacked in Wulong Starfield, hurry and check it out. No matter what, he first had to find the exact location before sending anyone, as the system used white dots and red dots to distinguish between internal members and outsiders. However, there were many people choosing goods within. It was hard to tell which was Luo Feng. He could only tell from where there was a battle. The security system scanned all the observation points within the starfield. There's been no battle, the system replied. Longju Emperor was stunned, however he immediately understood, ordering, have there been any points compromised? Observation point B2446, 56,453, 13,202, 96233 has malfunctioned, 36 seconds ago. B2446, 56. Has already headed there to check and do maintenance. The system replied, this entire process was extremely slow. Luo Feng sent the messages earlier after the battle had only been going on for 4 seconds. However, as Longju Emperor slowly moved and opened the mail before waiting for the replies from the system etc., 32 seconds had passed. Right here. There's an attack here in this observation point region. Longju Emperor shouted, contacting the 2 guides. The security system automatically reacted. I'm allowing you to immediately send someone, Longju Emperor said anxiously. Longju Emperor, your authority isn't enough. The system has to follow the regulated procedures. The system continued to try connecting to the 2 guides in the region over and over, a total of 20 seconds, to no avail. Only then did it send an order to a knight. This was an AI? Even if it was a living AI like Baba, to the moment the master gave an order, it had to stick completely to the set regulations within. It couldn't go against it. This security system of Wulong Starfield was exactly like that, as some requests and orders were set by all 5 managers, hence it had to comply. Without rules, it would be a mess. Armies had their rules. This system too naturally had some fixed rules. It may seem stiff, but without them it would result in chaos and even greater losses. And these stiff regulations, even if there were losses from it, it would be within their ability to withstand them. It would take about 90 seconds for a knight to get there. Luo Feng, hope you can survive. If you die, that Undying wouldn't be able to flee, even if he teleported through his god country. The ripples left behind by his god country, at least within 60 seconds, with the knight's ability, he would be able to track its coordinates. He'll definitely take revenge for you. Longju Emperor thought, it'll depend on how long you can last. Wulong Starfield. The Undying, surrounded by endless flames, turned to look at Casey beside him. Undying, you have 80 seconds, you have to kill Luo Feng within 80 seconds. Otherwise one of humanity's absolute warriors will get here. Casey's eyes gleamed with madness, simultaneously communicating via his world energy. You can die now. A low voice resounded in Casey's mind. Rumble. Casey was immediately swallowed by origin law flames and reduced to ashes. This Undying hiding within his internal world was considered his final trump card. The moment it was used, it meant that the Bug clan would definitely not let Casey survive, in case humanity discovers how they invaded and stayed hidden within. Human. The flaming Undying stood there and turned to Luo Feng, his endless god pressure expanding. Luo Feng couldn't move. You can die too. Rumble, endless flames erupted and almost like a dragon formed from flames, the surrounding 10,000 kilometers region lit up in flames and rushed at Luo Feng. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.